As my speaker on the right is Dr. Hidayat Bhutto. He's the chairman of the World Sindhi Congress. Stop me if I get it wrong. And again, WSC is a very prominent human rights advocacy group. It works to inform the international community about applied to the Sindhi, the Baloch and other professed nationalities in Pakistan. And Mr. Bhutto has remained very closely associated with the Sindhi national struggle over the last 30 years.
Prices. If there is an alarming situation, it's raised up to 15%. So Sindh is the worst than the African countries in food crisis, and it produces around 70% of Pakistan's revenue. There's a huge list of Pakistan's crimes and Pakistani establishment's crimes against Sindhi people. Since the day one creation of Pakistan, there is huge conspiracy against Sindhi people. In Balochistan, they have adopted a policy of genocide to kill the Baloch people. In Sindh, they have adopted a policy of colonize to convert Sindhis into minority. Pakistani establishment is not waged a war on terrorism, but it's a war of terrorism against Sindhi and Baloch people. Examples of forced disappearances. Recently, around 40 Sindhi nationalists have disappeared. It used to be one of our ex-chairmen of World Sindhi Congress, Dr. Sabda Sarki, who remained disappeared for more than 2 years. And recently, the people who have been disappeared, for example, Secretary General of GSN Muttahida Muzaffar Bhutto, he was abducted on 27th of February this year, and he was disappeared before. This is the second time they have kidnapped him, and his whereabouts are still unknown. The other peoples who has been disappeared in the nationalists, for example, Nur Muhammad Kaskeli, Shahid Notiyar of GSN Komi Mahaz, Lala Yasser of GSN Muttahida Mahaz, Shokat Brohi, Faisal Wagan, Hamid Shar, and there is many more people who have been disappeared, for example, from Jati district, Allah Bajal Temur, Ghulam Muhammad Qadir, Taj Muhammad, and Muhammad Borio. There is a huge list of disappearances and killings of Sindhi political leaders, particularly who are secular, who are fighting for democracy, who are fighting for their right of self-determination of Sindhi people, and there is a state operation going on Sindhi nationalists, particularly GSN Muttahida Mahaz. This party, when they have organized attacks on NATO forces, and this party has demonstrated against the attacks on NATO forces all over the Sindh. And there is a state huge operation is going on against Sindhi nationalists. For example, their vice chairman, Zulfikar Kolachi, was murdered on 5th of March 2011. Haji Khan Lunari of GSN Tahrik was murdered on 11th of March with his 3 other friends in his residence. Yunus Kaskeli, vice chairman of GSN Mahaz, he was abducted and killed on 13th of March. It should be noted that these killings and arrests of many Sindhi activists seems to be part of sustained campaign to eliminate leadership of indigenous Sindhi organizations demanding for national right of self-determination. And there's a huge list is going on for the crimes. For example, one of the professor of Dadu district, Professor Ejaz Solangi, he came to press club in Dadu and told the journalist that he had been threatened by ISI. And next day he was kidnapped and his body was thrown away. So there's a huge list against these crimes. Here, question arises why the West is quiet. why we are not supporting Sindhi and Baloch people to gain their freedom and right of self-determination. It's already too late, and it's going to be very late. Like some philosopher says that when Nazis came after socialists, I kept quiet because I was not socialist. When they came after communists, I kept quiet because I was not communist. When they came after Jews, I kept quiet because I was not Jews. When they came after me, there was nobody remains to raise voice for me. So similar thing is going to happen if we keep quiet, if we give this regime of jihadi generals which are governing the country, and this regime is committing crimes against humanity, against secular people. There is enough evidence to the Western world that they are with the terrorists, they are with the Taliban, they are with the Al-Qaeda, and they are against the secular forces, which are Sindhi and Baloch forces, which are by nature secular. Since thousands of years, they have remained secular, and their philosophy, their saints, their poetry, their language, everything is secular, because this country, which has been created in the name of religion, its building blocks are based on fundamentalist ideology. They are against these secular values. So we have to act soon to free the Sindh and Balochistan. It will be more and vigorous step against war against the terrorism.